So let me just share my screen. So you guys have all 21 projects have to be submitted by 2nd October 12 a.m. midnight. Okay. So if that's Thursday 12 a.m. midnight. Okay. Is that clear? So we can discuss all of this tomorrow. But yeah, let's come to the class now. The authentication key keeps failing. Manad, then I recommend that you use, if this is the 20th project, which means the browser use project, I would strongly recommend that you go via uh, the web UI way. Okay. Okay. This way the Docker will be set up, and in any case, you guys have to use Docker. Okay. Okay. How many of you have heard about n8n? So, how many of you know that is it an npm package? No, it's not an npm package, Virendra. So, I see that many of us have knowledge of n8n, but uh, can somebody tell me what n8n is? Workflow automation. Okay. I don't know what the Relay app is. No code. Yes. So I was looking for this particular term. No code agentic framework. Okay. And do you know what no code is? What can you somebody explain no code to me? And again, I'm not talking about no code agentic AI framework or anything like that, but there are other no code tools as well. In case you don't know, I'll just share my screen. Uh, Please don't try to answer. I'm trying to show you guys something. NiFi. So another no code tool that is very, very easy to use for data engineering. Okay. This is not for data scientists, just FYI. This is for data engineering. So you don't really need to worry about it. But this is the first tool that came to mind when I was thinking about no code tools. But what does a no code tool mean? No coding is required. Is that true? Drag and drop, GUI, no code. Okay. Okay. You can do tasks without coding. Hmm. Hmm. We'll see. Less coding heavy is a better term. Minimal coding is a better term. I know it says no code, but that's not true. There is code. It's better to, yes, Anand, I was literally about to say it. It's better to use low code. Okay. Okay. Now tell me another thing. We have talked about Crew AI. Yes, basic knowledge of code is required. Okay. So we have talked about Crew AI. At that time, we learnt about what are agents, what is agentic AI, and how the agentic AI is different from agents, right? We learnt about how what are tools, what are tasks, right? We learnt about all of these things, right? Do you guys remember or not? Okay. Now, uh, do you think So let's say we learned about agentic AI using Crew AI. Okay, Crew AI. Yeah. But I told you about some other agentic frameworks as well. Can somebody remember them? Can somebody remind me what were the other? Langgraph, yes. Autogen, yes. RAG is not an agentic framework, Abhishek. LangChain is not just an agentic framework, it has many other things as well. Gradio is a UI. Pydantic, yes. Good. Yes. Okay. So, what if I teach you instead, now that I've taught you Crew AI, what if I teach you Pydantic AI or Autogen or LangGraph? Will I have to teach you the concepts from scratch? So what will I have to teach? Just the syntax, right? Just what is different. So that is how today's class was supposed to go. But I added a bit of some basically uh, conceptual knowledge, right? So I'll just show it to you guys, okay? So some conceptual knowledge, you would benefit from it. Don't worry about it, okay? Okay. So n8n, pronounced as n8n or node mation. I have never heard anybody say node mation, nor am I going to be the person who's going to use this particular term. But yeah, n8n is my preferred term to pronounce n8n. Okay. And like you said, it's a low code uh, tool to create automation workflows. Okay, users literally do drag and drop, and sometimes they will have to do some sort of coding. Okay, yes. And there is a lot of support as well with n8n, so you can integrate anything and everything with n8n. And yeah, you can do automating repetitive tasks, building data pipelines, custom integrations, AI powered workflows. Please note, I have not said AI workflow automation. I have said workflow automation. You can use n8n for non-AI purposes as well. Nobody is going to say this is like not okay. Okay, you can do that. That's perfectly fine. Okay. In fact, uh, one of my juniors actually has built something that does not use any AI. It's literally just a set of rules built in n8n. And I was like, why not build this in Python? And he was very, very adamant that n8n will be much more stable. Okay. But yeah, anyway, that's to each his own. So today, I want to talk about the concept of automation. Can somebody define automation? I think we all know what automation means. Yes, no? Task with least human intervention. Uh, what is the role of data center for that? I don't know what that question is. Okay. Automation, automatic without something new. Okay, so I would like to define automation as this: a predictable, where predictable is the most important word, set of predetermined actions that transfer data from one point to another. Now, whether that uh, data is transformed, whether that data is processed is secondary. but it is at least transferred. Okay. So that is my definition. And yes, you can have your own definition, but at least observe that this definition is not wrong. Okay. So I'll repeat again that a predictable set of predetermined actions that transfer data from one point to another. Okay. So this is my definition. I urge you guys to create your own definition. Okay. Now, in any automation workflow, you will see that there are three things that are required. Under not and not under human control. I'll talk about that. I don't believe that that is true. That is always true. It may be true most of the times, Guy. Very good point, to be honest. Are actions user determined, not uh, yeah, I mean, these are predetermined. So the actions have to be user determined. What there can be multiple actions, multiple trees, so that's something that is not determined. Otherwise, the actions are determined. Okay. Okay. And you will understand more in a bit. There are three. Is it like a pipeline? Mm, in a pipeline, there is no action other than action on a data. Okay. In and you can say it again. This is a really good question, Tanmay. Hmm. I would say that action is, uh, the in a pipeline, the only action done is the action on a data set, whereas in an automation workflow, actions can occur both on a data and outside that set of data. Okay. Uh, I would not say that it is equivalent to a DevOps pipeline, but yeah. So the first core concept of any automation workflow is going to be the trigger. Okay. A trigger starts an automation workflow. Simple? No doubt? Any doubt? Okay. There can be many. How is it different from some automation tools like Selenium? Again, Selenium, the automation tool of Selenium is fairly limited in its reach. However, n8n is much more, and there are other competitors as well. So if you go for something like make.com, uh, again, it's again there is a free tier as well, but you will have to sign up. And again, very similar to n8n, very much how should I say, like almost a copy paste of n8n, to be honest. Okay, I don't know which one came first, but yeah, make.com is gaining popularity slowly and steadily over n8n. Okay. So, Selenium may not be the best equivalent because Selenium is only for web automation, whereas n8n, with n8n you can work on many different kinds of documents, data, audio, video, things like that. Okay. Okay. Uh, Firebase, Studio, Lovable, Replit, are these similar? Similar to n8n? No. Similar to each other? Yes. Office desktop, offline desktop apps are also supported? Yes. Microsoft Automate is, can n8n do cross-platform? What do you mean by cross-platform? Uh, Microsoft Automate question mark. What is the question over here? Video got stuck? Thank you. It was not moving much. Uh, okay. So trigger can be manual. There are, if there are no more questions, trigger was can be manual, they can be scheduled, or they can be event based. I don't know what Microsoft Automate is, Harinder. I'll have to look it up. So, any doubt in this? Manual, schedule, or event based? Okay. Then there are filters, and filters would be uh, why we use pipeline. We are not using pipeline today, Swaroop. Okay. So when I say filters, I don't just mean filters, I literally mean all of the conditionals in a workflow. So please explain event based. So event based would be is has there been a form submission? So instead of a human coming in and saying that yes, a form has been submitted, let's move ahead with the entirety of the process. This can be an event based triggered. Has there been a document been uploaded to an S3 bucket instead of a human coming in to check? We can set up an entire process that does it for us. Okay, that is what event based trigger would do. Okay, so let's talk about filters. And when I say filters, I don't just mean filters, I mean all conditionals. Okay, sorting, formatting, transforming, these are all conditionals. Okay, and you basically think of them as if else, or putting in an equation, things like that. Yes, SQL vibes. Yes, this would be like an SQL only. Okay. Okay. Then you have some actions. Without actions, the workflow is not an automation, right? No automation exists without an action. These may be a third party tool, but again, you can do anything and everything with with n8n. So whether that be update a row in a database, upload file to Dropbox, send a message on Slack. All of these integrations are not available in any simple pipeline. But yeah, uh, n8n is third party. Matlab, what does that mean? No, but to n8n, a database, Dropbox or Slack, to n8n, those are the third party. Okay. What is the difference between n8n and Cursor? That those are wildly different tools. They are not even related. I mean, I urge you to, I mean, you can install Cursor in your laptop today and you will understand it. Cursor is a programming tool, whereas n8n is an automation tool. So there are some best practices when we talk about uh, automation. So at the end of the day, you're not going to automate something that you're not going to create something new and then automate it. You're probably going to automate an existing process. Correct? Is that understood? So you should definitely try to understand all of the existing process in as much detail as possible. Okay. Then, for example, mhm, whenever a user signs up on my website, I want to send them a welcome mail or with a personalized message. So what would happen is somebody from my team would open up the user's profile, understand things about them, right? And then compose a mail and then send it. Now, this process can be automated completely. But to automate this, you should be able to understand why was I sending out a personalized message? Okay. Why a human effort was required? Why, what is the tools that we used to basically, uh, again, it may be lead conversion. I'm just giving you guys a hypothetical, right? What are the tools that we used? Are we sending the mail via Gmail? Are we sending it via Outlook? Or are we publishing the mail in a portal that sends the data to an SMTP server and you get a mail then, right? You have to understand each and every process of the step of the process, right? Only then will you be able to automate it properly. Is that understood? Any questions around here? It may seem like common sense, but to be honest, I've more often than not seen it not to be that common. Why sign in again? This was a hypothetical. This is, I don't actually have a website. I don't actually have a team member who's signing, giving you guys a personalized message. Okay, it was not a real scenario. And like analyzing the purpose of signing in and send the mail. uh This could be one step in understanding the existing process, but you will also have to understand. So you're thinking from the user's perspective, but from the business's perspective, you will also have to understand that, why was the business trying to get connect to a user at a personal level, right? That is also something that you will have to understand. Maybe we build an agent for that and we just do some sort of prompt engineering, but then the prompt needs to have all of that information, that emotion and things like that. Okay. Okay. Then, like I said, the tools that will be used. Sometimes some tools are paid. For example, Google Sheets is not a paid tool, but Microsoft Excel is a paid tool. I mean, I know many of us are using pirated copy. What, who is Sarup Python? How, he is asking unnecessarily. Hmm. Sarup, please don't ask irrelevant questions. Okay. So, for example, Google Sheets is a free tool, but you guys, you may probably be using Microsoft Excel. Some of us may be paying for that Microsoft Excel, but I know for a fact that most of us are using a pirated copy. But when you are running a business, and if Microsoft finds out that you are using a pirated copy and benefiting from use of that pirated copy, you are in a lot of legal trouble, right? So you have to understand, you will have to buy the license for Microsoft Office. Okay. So is it worth it? Okay. Similarly, the same case is for Dropbox and Slack. Slack may be free to us, WhatsApp may be free for us, but it is not free for people who use WhatsApp for business, Slack for business, Dropbox for business, right? Those are paid tools, right? So you basically have to understand the feasibility of the automation, right? where you have to understand how much cost is it going to take. Okay. How much cost is it going to take? You have to understand that feasibility. This is called financial feasibility. Is it going to cost you more money after the automation, or is it going to cost you less? Right? So you have to understand that as well, because many times you may think that, oh, why are people not automating anything? But I would just like to say that AI automation is a tool for first world countries, for the lack of a better term, right? Because labor in countries in continents like Asia and Africa is still much cheaper. So the AI automations are competing with that, and that is where financial feasibility comes into play, right? And then you also have to look at how many hours of your developers will this take, right? Because at the end of the day, if you have 10 developers and two of them are working in this automation project, then they are not working in some other project, right? There's an opportunity cost. Finally, you will have to look at that sometimes it is better to include human intervention. Okay, is that understood? Can somebody give me an example of why? So many people are talking not about the chapter or lecture we are going through. Can anybody give me an example of why I would intentionally put in human intervention in uh, an automation tool? Yes, good, Shiva. No system, no agentic system, no AI system, no LLM system will be 100% accurate, right? But for every system, especially AI systems, you will get a level of confidence score, right? If the confidence score is low, you can ask for unhuman intervention. And that is how you build systems with really high accuracies, by merging AI and human effort together. Okay. Okay. So these are some automation best practices, and these are the things that you need to worry about. So I'll just show you guys. I just took a screenshot and it's coming blurry for some reason. It's okay. So, and I'll showcase n8n in a bit, but yeah, this is what the n8n UI looks like. Okay, in fact, let me just show it in the, this is just too blurry. I'll just mute chat for a bit. Is the zoom size okay? How will you guys answer? Okay, yeah. Is the zoom size adequate, or do I need to show you guys? Okay, okay. So let's talk about a n8n canvas. This is called a canvas, right? You can see that, you can literally zoom in, zoom out, things like that. But this is where you will start your work. And before I move ahead and show you how to basically, uh, you know, get this for free, right? Uh, I'll just wanted to talk about these things. So obviously you can rename the workflow to my demo workflow maybe, or any other thing, right? And then you can add a tag, create tags, things like that if you have a large project, right? Then I pressed Control S. I should have not done that. Okay, so yeah. So you can just save or just press Control S. Okay. Then you can add nodes by clicking on this, and we'll just talk about this. Or you can obviously add first step over here. Okay. Then you can add a sticky note by clicking over here, or you can just right click and no, why? Right click and add sticky note over here, and you can even right click and add note over here. Okay, so right click works as well. And why would I need to use a sticky note? I'll showcase that in a bit, but let me just delete. And in the sticky note, you'll notice that guideline markdown works, right? So yeah, that's something. And you can obviously change the colors. There are only a few, but I think that's more than adequate. Okay. Then you can basically, I'll showcase the focus panel in a when we are working through an actual uh, demo, but we'll work through it. And then you when you click on this, it will ask you, are you going to save your changes? Are you going to leave your changes? So I'll just do save. And there are templates that will take you through a lot of templates. There are over 5,000 templates that people have created. Some of them are paid, please remember. So for example, you can generate AI viral videos with VO3 and upload to TikTok. And this is a massive node, no, n8n node. And I mean, like, absolutely crazy. Okay. And there are others as well. Learn JSON basics with interactive step-by-step tutorial. Okay. There are a lot of them. Okay. So, in fact, the first one that we are going to see today is built by the creator of n8n. And I've literally copy pasted this node. And yeah, we're going to look at that. Okay. Any questions till now? Okay. Uh, I'll be sharing with you guys the code to how to set it up. You guys can set it up. Okay, why? Okay, but yeah. Anyway, so let me just share the code. And you can basically access the editor at this. Okay. Okay, let's go back. Okay, there's a lot happening over here. So what we'll do is, instead of adding nodes, we'll try to understand these nodes. Okay. You guys can see my screen? Yes, no? Okay. So, uh, we'll not talk about this because this is a custom node that you guys should not be recreating. In fact, to be honest, I will have a very difficult time in replicating this node because this is created by the creator of n8n, right? So, we'll talk about this one first. So this is literally the agent. This is your AI agent. So we remember, we would do agent in crew with parenthesis open closed in crew AI. This particular UI piece is equivalent to that. Okay. And you can go through the documentation. This is directly available over here. And what did we have to define when we were defining an agent in crew AI? Goal, task, role, yes. And two more things, backstory, tools, LLM. So role, backstory, goal, LLM, and task. These were the 5 things that we would define. Yes, no? Okay, okay. So in the system message, and what I'll show that via here. Yeah. In the system message, you see that all of these are literally written. The role, you are the n8n demo AI agent, a friendly and helpful assistant designed to showcase the power of AI agents with n8n automation platform, so on and so forth, right? You are conversational. Your primary goal is to act as a live demonstration of AI agent built with n8n. How I work, I am an agent. So my purpose, my thing, everything, current date and time, right? And the output format. All of this is literally shown as a prompt. We're passing the same exact things. Okay. And if you look at it, the setting, not settings, but yeah. Yeah. So there are a few things that you need to take note. We have defined the role, the context or background information or backstory, and the goal in the system message itself. Yes, but there are still 2 things remaining. What are those? LLM and tools. Okay. So you can add an LLM. You can literally add a chat model by clicking over here, and you can select the Google Gemini API. And I'll showcase how to set your credentials. But yeah, we are setting up Google Gemini. Then you can add as many tools as you want just by clicking on this plus. Okay. In fact, let me just try to replicate this. Will this work? Okay. Okay. Let me just try to, I just copy pasted the entire node of example chat. In fact, you can even look at it, chat trigger, it's called. So you can do chat trigger. Okay. And no, Okay. And let's just do AI agent. Okay. So you guys see that, okay, I'll show this again. Please, you will have to add, can I zoom in? So, okay. I'll just click on add first step. I will search for chat and I'll check chat trigger. And I don't want to execute this. I don't want to test it. I don't want to change the settings. So I'll click on back to canvas. Okay. When I hover over it, I will see open chat. Okay. Now I will add a chat, sorry, not chat, agent. Okay. So I will search for agent in the nodes, right? And then I'll add AI agent. Okay. Then I'll choose define below and I'll add an option of so you see what is the prompt that I'm writing? Okay. And you guys see at the bottom, I see chat model with an asterisk and then a tool, then a memory. Yes, no? So chat model is mandatory. Okay, so let me just add a chat model and I'll just do a chat model. Uh, so I'll do Google Gemini chat model. And since I have already established, wait, just happened. Yeah. Since I've already established some credentials, I'll show you guys how to create a new credential in a bit. Okay. But I'll just run this. Okay. Then I'll save it just for the sake of remembering how it went. Okay. Then again, let's come back. What happens next? Absolutely nothing. We can literally, not add anything else and it will still work. So for example, if I just do open chat and I do hello, what is Genie? And you guys see that it is running. It will take some time. I am hoping that nothing wrong goes. Uh, why is it taking so much time? It should not be taking so much time. Yeah, took some time. But in simple terms, uh, generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that can create brand new things. Think of it as in this way, and this is a lot of message, right? So, do you guys want to what? Uh, how does n8n relate to Gen AI? And again, did we do a lot of effort? Was this a lot of effort? So, and this is it's giving some answer. I'm not going to go through that answer. You guys can do it on your own, right? But yeah, in fact, it's so simple. I'll just delete everything. Okay. Literally just save it, and I'll just add show the entire demo to you guys again. So I'll do add first step, search for chat trigger. Okay. Okay. I don't want to change anything. I don't want to make the chat publicly available. I don't want to, I mean, I should, because this way you guys can get access, but no, no. I will have to host a server and anything that's just too complex for you guys right now. But maybe when I'm doing it, doing the chat alone, I'll set it up. Okay. Then I'll just add an agent. Okay. And I'll go to the add options, add a system message, and that knows everything about philosophy. Okay. Then again, if you want to add max iterations, enable streaming, things like that, you can do that. Then I will just add a chat model. How can I add a chat model? Again, either I click here or I can click here, and I'll just search for Gemini. Gemini, the credentials are already made. Okay. And I'll just go back. Again, I don't really need to do anything else. And I'll just, how do I clear the output? Yeah, clear execution logs. And why is it reset chat session? Okay. Hello, who are you? That's like maybe five or maybe like at the most 10 clicks. Why does anything exist? Philosophical question, right? One of the most popular philosophical questions. It takes more time. Or is it taking more time today? Because in my experiments, it would not take so much time. This is arguably the most profound and enduring question humanity has ever posed, because I am, and it gives a lot of things, right? We're not going to go through a philosophy chapter today. Maybe some others. We'll have like a 21 projects in 21 philosophical sessions, right? So, yeah, this was easy. Yes. How many of you found it difficult? So the only thing that you don't know right now to set this up is how to set a credential. And to do that, you'll go back to your homepage, and you see that there are workflows, but there are also exec credentials and executions. And you see that I have a lot of executions and a lot of credentials, but maybe so all you need to do is create a credential, and you can literally search for Gemini. And for some reason, way back in 2023, Gemini was why I got errors, because uh, I can get errors, right? I am like not a perfect developer even after 10 years of doing code. Okay. Okay. Why you got it? This was the real philosophical question, huh? Okay. Okay. So for some reason, you will see this palm thing, right? Way back in 2023, uh, Gemini was called Palm. Okay. And for some annoying reason, n8n continues to call it Palm as well. So let's just add. And all you need to do is literally in this particular section, just add your API key. So let's do that. I'll just go to the AI Studio, get API key. I'm just hoping this one works, and I'll just copy paste this, and I'll just rename this. You can rename this test Gemini credentials. Okay, and then save, and connection tested successfully. Okay, that's it. That's all there was to create a credential. Okay, so again, I'll literally just delete everything. Chat, trigger. Okay, then AI agent. Okay, then system message. Helpful assistant that knows about what now? What can we test? Uh, Coffee. Okay. Uh, okay. So then you add Gemini as the chat model. The credentials are going to be test Gemini credentials. And yeah, and then we can just do hello. Tell me one mind blowing fact about coffee. Coffee, code, and philosophy, right? So my life basically. But yeah, coffee is the say I knew that, but yeah, second most globally traded commodity in the world only after crude oil. Yeah, I knew that. Tell me more. Java is the name. Java is literally named after coffee. So way back in the 1980s, Java was the official name of coffee. Okay. Okay. So one thing that I didn't, uh, tell you guys, uh, in Crew AI, and that was memory. Did I talk to you guys about memory? Can you guys tell me what memory is? And it is spitting out an essay again. So, uh, just how adding a chat was very easy. You can literally add like a temporary memory over here, and that's all you need to do. Literally, just simple memory, plus memory. And for beginners, again, for everything else, you will have to have, paid credentials. So, basically, you should always use simple memory for 90% of your use cases. It will work, right? And yeah, that's it. And let me try to, why does data science work well after data engineering? And let's see what does it try to do. Did we like imagine the concept of memory was so difficult that I could not cover it in the Crew AI topic, and adding it was literally just 3 clicks. Okay. So yes, memory is literally so it can remember the chats and the context we talked about. Okay. How does data science relate to our previous discussions? Is it going to use the memory? I hope so. Our okay. Our previous discussion was focused directly on why data science works so well after data engineering. So yeah, memory seems to be working, and it's showing two items. So it's showing that there have been two runs, right? And you can try to understand the basically the output and the input. Definitely go through it, but this is not something that we are going to cover today, because just going through the input and output itself is a massive exercise. Okay, but definitely please go through it. So when we were playing with the crew AI, what was a tool that we were using? Serper, yes. So let's see if we have Serper. And again, adding tools is literally just plus on tool and Serper. There is not Serper, but there is a competitor of Serper called Serp API. And Serp API, I will have to create a new credential. Hmm. Do I sign up to Serp API? Yeah, I'll have to sign up to Serp API. Let me just do that. Serp dot API. So this is the same exact tool. It's just that it is a competitor of serper.dev. And let me just do, I think I have an API. Let's just check. Nope, I didn't have an API. No, I did have an API key. So I have the API key, and yeah, done. Cool. It works now. Search the internet to get me a good joke that may be derived from our previous conversations. Let's see if it is going to use. Yes, it failed. Why did it fail? Get your My API key is not valid. Why? Why? Why is it not valid? Uh, Let me just try to edit this. Why is this not working? Hmm. Do I have to choose a plan? No, that would just be paying money. Okay. And search history is none. But you guys get it now that I can use a searching tool as well. That's fairly easy to do. People make mistakes to chalta hai, but why is my API key not working? It should. Uh, is Yeah, it is work. It should be working, man. I know. I don't know. Uh, Maybe can I try to do some other tool? What is a tool that I can add Mm, and you see that there are so many more tools: AWS Lambda, S3, Transcribe, calculator. You need a calculator tool. Okay, Coda, compression, crypto, deep L tool. I don't even know what that deep L is. Okay, translator language. Oh no, I don't want to do that. What is something that I can do? Uh, is there something that I can do? Hmm. Nothing interesting. But there are so many tools I keep on scrolling and I still don't, I haven't even reached the middle, I think. Does the open weather map also need a credential? Yes, and it also still needs a uh yeah, I'll need to set it up. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. How about this? I have a tool that does it. Let's call the Tavily tool, which again is a basically a searching tool and a competitor of Serper. Okay, just a second, guys. Yeah, so I do have access to Tavily. So let me, why would it not work? Who is, yeah, let's see if this works. Uh, I forgot I had Tavily. Yeah, it worked. Generate another one. Yeah, I did not use Tavily, but it's okay. But yeah, you can add tools. Everybody understood that? Serper does not exist in n8n. So either you get serp.api or Tavily search. Okay. What controls the order? The AI agent controls the order. The AI agent dictates that now I want to use the Gemini chat. Now I want to use the memory. Now I want to use this tool. Now I want to use that tool. So I'll just do one thing. I'll just go through your first AI agent. And if you look at it, the get weather is also another tool. Similarly, get news is another tool. And I just want to do this. Let's see what happens. Why is it taking so long, man? Uh, Feel free to ask me about the weather news or even how I work. What is the weather in, I don't know, Dubai? Okay. 33, but feels like 38.1. The relative humidity is 69, and there's no precipitation. That's just a horrid weather. But anyway, let's so our first play with the n8n is uh I hope there is not like bad questions. Okay, so I first play with basic n8n is done. Let's look at the current focus, which is, you know, I yeah, which is AI newsletter automation. Okay, so you guys are talking so much out of context and not related to uh, the course. Can you please not have a conversation that is in a parallel track? Okay. Okay. So I wanted to showcase a schedule trigger as well. So this will basically send out a mail to me every day at midnight. That's it. That's all the settings that I have done in the schedule trigger. Does that make sense? Okay. Then this will basically say from when to when. So I want the days to be what is the current date, okay, and what is the last week date. Why am I doing this? You will understand in a bit. But basically, I have to get the current date and the last working date, last week. Okay. Yeah, current date is 28th. Okay. So yeah, do you guys see what kind of field this is? What kind of node this is? This is a code-based node. Okay. I am literally writing some code over here. Okay. Then again, the simple AI agent, I have written some prompt structure. So again, fairly simple. Arey yaar. I pressed back by mistake. Yeah, it's fairly simple. The newsletter structure, title, include a relevant keyword, editor's note, optional but preferred, summarize the theme, AI in focus, headlines in AI, and tool of the week, learning corner, so on and so forth. Right? Okay. Then this is literally, can anybody guess what the node type this is? Can anybody guess what I have done over here? You guys see that this is JavaScript code. Okay. So this is a code node. Yes, Daniel. Good. Okay. Okay. So I'm literally coding. that after you get an output, I just have to basically ensure that I am able to format the email content in a way that is consumable by the Gmail credentials node. Okay. What are the options of language right now? Only JavaScript and Python are supported, but Python is in beta and it behaves weirdly. And I have removed the code. That's excellent. But what I'll do, I'll not save this. Leave without saving. Okay. So yeah, there are two things, Python and JavaScript. I would have preferred to code in Python, but it works in a weird manner and JavaScript works really well. So I literally just write some code in Python and I literally ask ChatGPT or Gemini to convert it into JavaScript. Okay. Finally, we have a node to send a message to via Gmail. And to be honest, I will not be able to showcase this particular one because this is a schedule trigger. In fact, can I change this to a, let me just delete this and let me just manual trigger. Let me just convert this to a manual trigger and let me just add this over here and let me just execute the workflow. And let me just check if my Gmail does not block the mail. Yeah. Yeah, it's taking a lot of time. Like, is it me or Gemini is taking a lot of time today? Yeah, from the server itself. The Gemini server may be slow. Yeah, so the workflow has been executed successfully. So let me just check if I did get an email. Yeah, I'll have to find it because like I'm pretty sure it is in spam somewhere or promotions. Yeah, no. Mhm. Okay. What if I do all mail? Didn't get it. Whom am I sending this mail to? Send to. Okay, so send to, and I'll do this again. Execute workflow and save. Hey, I think I got a mail, and yeah, so let me just show it to you guys. I hope it shows properly. Yeah. So this is the mail I get. So you guys see 9:21 p.m., 9:21 p.m., 0 minutes ago. Literally my spam account, Sampoon applies, right? This is where I manage all of my spam. Okay. 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 I also created, I went a bit overboard. This is something that I don't expect you guys to create, but basically, I created something way more complex. Yeah, yeah. So this is a scheduled trigger, but I can basically set the topic in code. Okay. So and then scrape there's a blog called artificial intelligence dot blog, and then I'm just getting the top 100 articles. Then I'm creating a table of contents. I've written a very, very large prompt to create a table of contents. And yeah, I search for the internet. Okay. Then I do write a main body. And you guys see at the back, this is basically the sticky note. Uh, okay. So you guys see the sticky notes? Yes or no? So I am using it to literally organize my automation, right? Then image generator, and I am first writing a prompt, and let me just execute previous nodes, and then I'll execute the step to showcase the image that is being generated. This will take some time. Yeah, this will take a lot of time to be honest. But yeah, I went a bit overboard, and I don't expect you guys to do this, but I wanted to show what is possible with the n8n. And you will see like absolutely crazy sized, absolutely large n8n tools. So I'll just execute this as well. And this is the image that it is generating. Okay. So the topic of the newsletter was that, I'm not, so had an issue that I was not getting any image in this newsletter, so it was getting a bit boring. And the topic of the newsletter is supposed to be how can I learn AI, right? And if I just execute the entire workflow, it should work. But let me just execute everything till here. And basically this one generates the title. Will you share can we see the execution logs for n8n for debugging? Yes, I'll showcase where. And this is the free version or n8n version? Yes. I'm sorry for the wait. It's just taking a bit too long. To be honest, it doesn't take that much. Yeah. So it has generated the entirety of the output, and the output is the title is Unlock Your Potential, AI Powered Learning and Career Success with GPT 4.0. I think that this is a really like interesting title. And let's just see if I do get a mail. Yeah, I do get a mail. The AI advantage, transforming how unlocking your potential. And again, this is the same title, right? Where is it? Unlock your potential, right? And we got this 0 minutes ago. And for some reason the image is not rendering, but yeah, I promised you guys it was rendering yesterday. But yeah, the yeah, this is the image. Okay, and the newsletter is like this. Okay, I was thinking about adding explore more insights, and that would lead to a website that n8n would have created, dynamically generated based on the user's profile. So, for example, if Sampoon is opening up a website, it should look different. If, let's say, any of you is opening up if any of you is opening up the website, it should be very different, right? Uh, so I think so. Maybe if the failure of Google Drive may be the case, but it's showing that it worked. Uh, so let me just give me a second and I'll just check what happened over here. And I'll just check if I am getting. Yeah, it is uploaded. So I'll just showcase. Yeah, so we see that this was created just now, image.png, and this is the same image that I showed in the output of n8n. It is getting uploaded. I'll see why this is not working. But you guys understand how powerful this is? Like, it took me a while, but if somebody asked me to recreate this, I think it will take me a couple of hours at the most. Okay. Can we fine tune that image prompt? So I have done that. So I literally have explicitly written uh, some prompt engineering to create the prompt for the image generation. Okay. Are we supposed to create? You are not even supposed to replicate this, Anjali. This will be a bit too difficult. But so let me just share my Safari again. Let's just close this. Let's just close this. And where are we? Yeah. So, yeah. How do you run n8n locally? Well, these two commands. Without Docker, you cannot run n8n for free. Please remember that you cannot run, yes, in the command line terminal, you cannot run Docker. Docker is, you cannot run n8n without Docker for free. Otherwise, you will have to make a payment. Okay, understood? Yeah, so that custom made model can be added as interface. Okay, but you will have to host it somewhere as an API. Okay, and this is the place where once you have installed everything in your Docker, you will have to. Does it use too much RAM? No, it uses like 4 to 8 gigs of RAM. But Daniel, like I said, if you use Docker, you don't really need to pay. Okay. So these are the two commands that you will need to use to create Docker, the n8n locally. Okay, and Docker is completely free. Okay. For production, you must go online. That's not necessary. As you saw, I was able to send out a mail. Um, for client, maybe then it's the clients are making that payment and not you. Okay. I hope you guys remember that I had asked you guys that you will have to install Docker for the 21st project, for the last project. I hope you guys have done it. If not, definitely search on the internet on how to do so. And these are the only two commands that you will need to run for running Docker locally, about n8n locally, and you don't really need to understand these. Okay. Okay. Now, what is your homework, your submission? Basically, you can you can download these JSON files. Okay. And if you remember, these are the JSON files. With these JSON files, so every n8n workflow can be exported into a JSON file, and a JSON n8n workflow can be imported as a n8n workflow. And I'm not going to tell you how. It's literally just 3 clicks. Okay. I want you guys to figure this out. How to import, and in fact, I'll showcase how to export. Uh, how to export this, I'll showcase. You literally right click here and download. Okay. And you have another JSON file. Okay. So this is going to be your submission for the day. All you need to do is literally replicate any one of these. I would strongly recommend you go with the first one. That would be the easiest one to replicate. But if you are feeling courageous and a bit, uh, you want to challenge yourself, then you go with this. And if you want to try to, challenge yourself even further, you go with this. The goal of today's session was to make you understand that with n8n you can create multiple kinds of newsletters, and all you need to know is basically how to click and how to do prompt engineering, which we have already talked about in previous sessions. Okay. 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 So I'm going to upload this notebook into the resources section. And what I expect you to do is, like I said, today is the last session, right, for the 21 projects team. And tomorrow is going to be another session, and we are going to talk about what what are we going to do next. When I say we, I mean you, right, and not GFG. Okay. So you guys can stop with the parallel track conversation. So this is technically the end of the course. The technical part is done. The difficult part is done. Now you guys have 3 days to finish all 21 submissions, finish all the projects, and then more than a year to revise those projects. Okay. So we need to install Docker in our system and replicate any one of these and paste the screenshot. Yes. Where and how should I make progress? Bit more advanced or best source starting point after this? Could you please? We'll talk about these questions later, tomorrow. What do you mean by more than a year? Okay. Okay, we'll talk about all of these questions. There's so many questions about your future and everything. Transformers use it. So even technical questions, we'll talk about them in absolute detail tomorrow. Okay. कल आप सब आ रहे हैं तीनों लोग? नहीं, not all three. It will just be me. But yeah, uh, this would be because there are some situations going on. But yeah, it will just be me. Ashish is completely unavailable, and Harsh is going to be on a personal leave as well. So I wanted all of us to be there, but it's okay. Okay, I'll try to get Harsh. Okay. But yeah, thank you everybody. This was absolutely wonderful. I hope you guys understand what you are capable of now. Okay. Okay. Is it start of Thursday or end of Thursday? Go through the submission form, Jesh. Okay, the Vivek there. That's a lot of. Okay, thank you. Tanmay, I've copy pasted your content as well as Vivek's. I'll read it at a later stage after the class. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And yeah.